January 6th is approaching fast, and most people across the country have no idea why this date has suddenly become so important, especially if you depend on Social Security, SSI, SSDI, or you're living on a fixed income. Something significant is unfolding behind closed doors in Washington right now, and it's created a mix of confusion, hope, and concern all at once. Before we go any deeper, take a moment to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss ongoing updates like this. And please like and share this video so it reaches more people who truly need this information. Over the past few days, online searches about new stimulus-style payments have skyrocketed. Social media is packed with posts claiming money is on the way. Some say payments are already approved, while others insist it's all fake. The truth sits somewhere in between, and missing the details could cost people real money. These programs are complicated, and one misunderstanding can have serious consequences. So let's slow things down and talk honestly about what's really happening. January 6th isn't just another date on the calendar. It's a pressure point, a moment where government deadlines, political strategy, and financial decisions intersect. And whenever that happens, conversations about money are never far behind. If you've been feeling the squeeze from higher grocery bills, rising rent, increasing utility costs, or benefit checks that don't stretch as far as they used to, this directly affects you. Before you get overly excited or dismiss everything as rumors, it's important to understand that some of what's being shared online is incorrect, but some of it is grounded in real developments. Knowing the difference could mean being prepared instead of caught off guard. Over the last 72 hours, several federal departments, including Treasury-connected committees and congressional budget teams, have been reviewing updated funding scenarios. These reviews are tied to inflation data, benefit strain, and possible emergency relief options. This isn't guesswork, it's documented activity. At the same time, lawmakers are facing increasing pressure from seniors, disability advocates, and low-income households who say current benefit levels are no longer keeping up with reality. When that pressure builds to a certain point, one topic always enters the discussion: direct financial relief. Now, it's important to be clear. There has been no official announcement of a new stimulus check. But January 6th matters because it represents a procedural and political turning point. It's when proposals can surface, signals can be sent, and decisions begin moving from discussion to direction. That's why there's so much noise right now. Some of it is exaggerated, some of it is misleading, but some of it is tied to very real conversations happening behind the scenes. And here's what most headlines won't tell you. This isn't just about a single payment. It's about what comes next. It's about whether relief shows up as a one-time deposit, a monthly benefit adjustment, an emergency credit, or something else entirely. And it's about who qualifies and who doesn't. If you rely on Social Security, SSI, SSDI, VA benefits, or a fixed retirement income, the next few weeks matter more than most people realize. Unfortunately, many are focused on the wrong things. They're arguing over dollar amounts that don't exist yet. They're sharing screenshots with no reliable sources. They're reacting emotionally instead of paying attention strategically. That's risky because the real story isn't what's being promised online. The real story is what's quietly being put into place, and why January 6th is when it starts to come into focus. Before assuming the worst or getting swept up in hype, it's critical to understand what's actually happening and how it could affect you personally. Right now, there is no bill labeled new stimulus checks sitting on the president's desk. No payments have been mailed. No official payment date exists. Anyone saying otherwise isn't being honest. But that doesn't mean nothing is happening. What is happening is a broad review of financial pressure data from the most recent quarter. This includes inflation trends, housing costs, medical expenses, and energy bills, especially winter heating costs. At the same time, congressional budget teams are re-examining unused relief funds, expiring temporary programs, and emergency authorities created during past crises. This process wasn't random. It was triggered by rising hardship reports, election year pressure, and formal complaints from advocacy groups representing seniors, people with disabilities, and low-income families. January 6th lines up with internal reporting deadlines, committee briefings, and strategy meetings that determine which options move forward and which ones are dropped. This is where signals are sent, not checks. That distinction matters. When budget analysts start modeling relief scenarios, certain terms often leak out of context. People hear phrases like direct payments or household relief and immediately assume checks are coming. But relief can take many different forms. A stimulus check is a one-time payment. A benefit adjustment changes your monthly Social Security, SSI, or SSDI amount going forward. An emergency credit might show up as a temporary deposit, a utility credit, or a tax-related refund. There are also targeted programs that only apply to specific income levels or benefit categories. Right now, all of these options are being discussed at the modeling stage. That doesn't mean approval, but it does mean seriousness. Political timing also plays a role. Lawmakers want to show action without committing to massive long-term spending. That's why short-term relief options tend to surface first. They look responsive, buy time, and calm public pressure. But here's the hard truth. Not everyone will qualify for whatever comes next. If relief moves forward, it will almost certainly be targeted. Income thresholds will matter. Benefit type will matter. Filing status will matter. Blanket promises online are misleading and dangerous. If you receive Social Security retirement, SSI, SSDI, or VA benefits, you are part of the group being closely analyzed. But nothing is guaranteed. Decisions haven't been finalized. This is where misinformation causes real harm. Some people are throwing out exact dollar amounts. Others are attaching fake approval dates or claiming insider confirmation. That's not how real policy works. Real decisions move quietly first, and right now the movement is happening in planning rooms, not press releases. So, is this real or fake? The answer is nuanced. The checks are not real yet. The conversations are real. And January 6th is the point where those conversations either turn into formal proposals or disappear altogether. What happens next affects real lives: rent, groceries, prescriptions, and peace of mind. If relief moves forward after January 6th, it won't reach everyone at the same time. Some will benefit quickly, others will wait, and some won't qualify at all. Historically, the first groups considered are seniors on fixed incomes, people receiving SSI or SSDI, and households flagged as high risk due to medical and housing costs. Being on the radar doesn't mean guaranteed money. It means eligibility is under review. Relief doesn't start with generosity. It starts with limits. Budgets are examined first, then numbers, then eligibility boxes are drawn. And those boxes are often smaller than expected. Someone just above a cutoff could be excluded even if they're struggling. That's happened before. For seniors relying mainly on Social Security, costs are rising everywhere. A one-time payment might help briefly, but it doesn't solve the bigger issue. That's why some lawmakers push for monthly benefit adjustments. But monthly increases take longer, cost more over time, and face more resistance. That's why short-term relief often comes first, even if it's imperfect. For SSI and SSDI recipients, things are even more delicate due to strict income and asset limits. A poorly designed payment could create problems later. That's why nothing moves fast, and why targeting matters. Veterans and disabled Americans may also see separate relief paths with different timelines and rules. This is not a one-size-fits-all process. The biggest danger right now is bad information. Some people are spending money they don't have, expecting a payment that may never come. Others are losing hope unnecessarily. The better approach is to watch official signals, track real dates, and prepare for multiple outcomes. January 6th isn't payday. It's a signal. After that, things can move quickly. Announcements, eligibility rules, and deadlines can appear with little warning. Staying informed gives you an advantage. Mark important dates, understand your benefit status, and avoid making financial decisions based on rumors. January 6th is a turning point, not the finish line. Committees will meet, proposals will be reviewed, and the groundwork for possible relief will be laid. No payments are guaranteed, but the conversation is real and moving forward. Information is power. Staying informed helps you avoid mistakes, act quickly, and protect your financial stability. Stay alert, stay prepared, and remember, knowledge today protects your future.